The Eurozone debt crisis still dominating the French press, of course, and lots of papers focusing on Nicolas Sarkozy and how he came out after that lengthy interview that he gave on television last night.
That's right. We're going to start by looking at Libération, which says that Sarkozy basically was patting himself on the back during the interview and pretty much showing off. Now, here he is on the cover. And basically it says, c'est moi ou la crise, according to Libération. Sarkozy yesterday said, if it, it's either me or the crisis, this is the choice you have. He's, according to Libération, if it were, he was saying that if it weren't for him and his policies, then France and in fact the rest of Europe would be in a deep crisis. And according to Libération, he painted himself as the only credible solution to get out of this situation. Now, in an article inside Libération, it says that Sarkozy was celebrating Sarkozy. Now, Sarkozy was on television yesterday to explain to the French people what's going on. He tried to paint it as this very democratic process where he would, explain to people what's going on and why he was, doing what he's doing, try to explain his austerity measures. But in their editorial, Libération compares Sarkozy to Napoleon Bonaparte because he was basically painting himself out to be this world savior and behaving, according to Libération, in a very old school solo way. Libération says this what they call pretty much a theatrical, calculated interview wasn't the democratic moment that Sarkozy wanted it to be, especially compared to Germany. Angela Merkel had to get the backing of her parliament before going to negotiate in Brussels, whereas, according to Libération, Sarkozy went in a very old-fashioned solo way.
Napoleonic,
exactly. And Libération says that this interview shows that Sarkozy, whether he said it open, he didn't say it openly, but according to Libération, it shows that he's on the campaign path for 2012. Even though, as we saw last night, Nicolas Sarkozy was very mysterious as to whether or not he's going to run and when he's going to announce whether or not he's going to run.
Okay, so that's the left-wing paper, Libération, but the right-wing paper, Le Figaro, they've got rather a different picture.
Very glowing terms for Sarkozy. Sarkozy, l'exercice de vérité, Sarkozy, an example of truth. Now, in their editorial, Le Figaro says that the summit was very successful, largely thanks to Sarkozy, but they say that the outcome isn't a path coated with roses, but Sarkozy was not afraid to tell French people the harsh reality that there is. They said that his goal last night was to, lay it out on the table, tell it like it is, and he was successful in that. Now, the editorial blames a lot of the current situation on past socialist governments, but says that a new world is emerging from the situation, and that Sarkozy isn't afraid to move on into this new world, whereas the socialists, according to Le Figaro, are very much stuck in the past.
Okay, well, a lot of the papers are also focusing on this idea that Sarkozy outlined yesterday, that China and other emerging markets could come to the rescue of Europe financially.
That's right. We're going to take a look at La Tribune, the business paper, one of the business papers here. First of all, we're going to take a look at their front page, which says that the bailout plan yesterday, Europe gives itself a break. And on the inside, they explore this idea of China coming to the rescue of Europe. And according to La Tribune, the consequences of accepting China's help is worrying for a lot of people here on the old continent. For instance, they have a quote by Henri Emmanuelli, socialist, who says that it's the financial equivalent to the Munich conference in the lead up to World War II. Daniel Cohn-Bendit from the Green Party says that Europe is giving itself to China with its hands and feet tied. Basically, we are at the mercy of China if we accept this. But La Tribune wonders what China is actually going to ask for in return: transfer of technologies and perhaps opening European markets more to Chinese products. Now, there are similar fears that are brought up in Libération, which says that China, what is China going to ask for in exchange? Beijing could ask for an arms embargo to be lifted, one that's been there since 1989. But Libération says all this is just talk for now, and it still remains to be implemented fully.
Okay, well, we'll be following the twists and turns of that right here on France 24 and the twists and turns of what the papers say about it as well. But thanks very much indeed, Florence, for that look at all today's French newspapers. Well, let's get a reminder now of our top stories this Friday here on France 24.